All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Coverage. Walsh alongside Paul Zeise, and we're taking your phone calls tonight, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, and we're going to get right into it. We're talking about the Buccos and what they can do to compete next year and maybe the year after, because I'm looking at 2 years away, but you got to look at while you have Josh Bell here. Their only assets right now are Starling Marte, Felipe Vasquez, Melky Cabrera, and Corey Dickerson, in my opinion, that they could actually get something for that could help them next year and in years in the future. So, I mean, if you're going to try to compete next year, the year after, Paul, can you compete without Marte and Vasquez?
I think that if you were going to do what you were talking about, then you absolutely have to trade Vasquez.
Well,
but I mean, if you're going to strip it down, what's the sense of having a closer?
But it's not even really stripping it down. We're keeping Josh Bell. We're keeping all the starting pitchers.
I understand
the bullpen.
But again,
potentially keeping Gregory Polanco.
Are you going to keep? Is Jordan Lyles coming back next year?
I don't know. I mean,
so you're going to have to find a guy there. Is Chris Archer? Are you going to pick up?
I'm saying you pick up his option.
I'm saying, are you going to pick up his option?
Yes,
at
I do.
$9.5 million.
It looks like a complete failure if you don't. You have to.
But what good is it to have a guy who, if he's going to go to the mound?
It's not your money. They got to pay him.
My point is, that's my point, though. My point is, if you're talking about tearing it down, tear it down, because the reality is, if you look at what they have to work with, I don't know if they're good enough. I mean, yeah, they've got a nice little core of players, but they don't have enough of them.
All right, let's go out to Tom and Jeanette. Tom, what's up?
Hi, Rich.
Hey.
This is Tom.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for taking my call. Hey, talking about the Pirates, right now, they really need is a good pitcher, not another Archer, but pick up a good pitcher. And contrary to what you guys are talking about, I think Polanco should be the first guy to go. And Gung.
I don't think you can get anything for Polanco, and I don't think you'd get anything for Gung. I'm talking about guys you would get something for.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're taking up, or Deadwoods are taking up a good roster spot. And they're just.
But who's better than them?
The thing about Polanco is he does have a pretty team-friendly contract.
Yes.
You might, and there's control of him over a couple of years.
I mean, you might be able to dump him off to an American League team.
I think, again, a guy that hits like him, somebody would take him. And then I think you could get something for him. But the Pirates are looking at it and saying, his deal versus Marte's deal.
Yeah.
And
now you don't have a center fielder to trade away Starling Marte.
And so the bottom line is, well, what I'm saying is, Marte's going to make, what, $11.5 million next year. So, if you're talking about going into a situation where you want to rebuild. I agree with you to a point. But you can't have a AAA team here for the rest of the year. You can't.
I say you can.
You can't.
I mean, if you're doing away with Cabrera and Dickerson, I'm talking about trading those two guys.
Dickerson is expendable, isn't he?
I think so.
No, he's expendable. And who's the other guy?
Cabrera.
Okay. Cabrera.
And Dickerson.
And you keep Marte, Polanco, and Reynolds, you know what? You still have a team that you can win with. You can win enough games that you're competitive. Now, you start talking about getting rid of Marte, that's different.
How many players are they away? What do they need? They need a top-tier pitcher.
People don't want to hear this. I would say they need at least 2 starting pitchers, at least 1 more bullpen guy, if not 2, and they probably need 1 more legitimate position player.
High leverage bullpen guy. I mean, we got guys like Jordan Lyles, and he was serviceable this year in a starting rotation. But you need guys. You need upgrade Jordan Lyles.
If they come back with Archer and Lyles next year, they deserve whatever they get.
They need to come back with someone that's better than Trevor Williams, in my opinion.
No, I mean, Trevor Williams is one of your best pitchers.
I understand that, but if they want to compete, they need to sign one of those pitchers next year that are free agents that are comparable to Trevor Williams. Let's go out to Chuck in Uniontown. What's up, Chuck?
Good evening, fellas. Rich and Paul. Paul, I agree with you. If they're going to compete next year, you've got to have Polanco, Marte, and Reynolds. Because otherwise, you may as well start all over again. And what's really going to be hard about evaluating this year is that it has been so stained with injuries. You don't know who could have a really good year next year if they didn't get hurt, because you can't leave the injury factor out of it. Perhaps if there weren't severe injuries to the pitching staff, we could be in contention. But if you want to compete 2 or 3 years down the road, you must keep Marte, Polanco, and Reynolds.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chuck. I mean, I think when I'm saying tear it down, I'm not saying tear it completely down. I'm saying you'll be fine without Cabrera and Dickerson at the end of this year.
Those
Get
are the
whatever
two
you
guys
can.
you're going to trade.
And if you
yes.
want to trade Starling Marte, I'm okay with the AAA outfield this year if you're getting someone back for these guys. Because I think you're still competitive without Marte. Yeah, you might not have the center fielder. I like Marte. I'm not saying trade him. I'm saying they got to figure out how to win in the next 2 years.
Well, what I would say is this, and if you're going to do what you're talking about, you know, kind of tearing it down, to me, then I would trade or whatever Gung and bring Hayes up and let Hayes make all his mistakes this year. You know what I mean? In
Yeah, I
the
like
lost
that move.
season. You know, I mean, that's what you have to do. That's the thing about if you're going to commit to it, commit to it. You know, you've got Elias Diaz, so you've got your young catcher, right? I don't understand why they keep messing around with Cervelli. You know what? When he gets healthy, trade him, DFA him, whatever you got to do, or keep him on your roster.
Yeah.
But never, you know, he's now become your backup, and you have some decisions to make. But here's the thing that people don't want to. I keep hearing about all these injuries, right? The two injuries that matter were Williams and Tyon. Okay, those are two guys they could not replace.
Yeah.
Right.
Kella maybe too.
Yeah, but Kella was never good for the Pirates. I mean, the guy.
He was just a high leverage kind of bullpen guy that they didn't have.
The guy, they brought him here last trade deadline, which is now going on a year, and he's pitched 26 innings for them, and I bet you 13 of them have been terrible. So I don't throw Kella out the window. Here's what I'm saying, okay? Everybody talks about all of the injuries, but they don't want to acknowledge that Josh Bell's having a career year. Reynolds kid is playing way above anyone thought he would be. The Newman kid is hitting far better than anybody thought he could be. You know what I mean? The Jordan Lyles guy is way over his head. So these things are also going to have a little bit of regression. And to me, if you're going to talk about all of the injuries, oh, woe is us with the injuries, the reality is the guys that you've put in have been better than the guys that were injured. So really, if you're going to talk to me about what this team is missing right now and boo-hoo, Trevor Williams, who's back, by the way, and Tyon. That's where it begins and ends with me. The rest of these guys, the guys they've brought in have been either just as good or better. So I think the injury stuff, until, you know, the last couple of weeks when it started to add up in terms of the starting pitching, it just started. The injury stuff was overrated. No, okay, yes, Dickerson was hurt, but guess what? Dickerson would not be anywhere close to as good as what Reynolds has done for you. So you actually came out ahead in that situation. Melky Cabrera, when he was playing a bunch, guess what? He's better than Polanco or Marte. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. People don't want to acknowledge these things, but that's why baseball is the ultimate sport. It's a 162-game grind, number one. And number two, everybody either regresses or they rise up to where they're supposed to be by the end of the season.
I love it. I got Paul Zeise fired up. Now we're going to take a break. Back with more Paul Zeise coming up next. Stay right there.